So what I'm seeing right now currently, well, because of the concept that we're focusing on, right, is that either the person on top is breaking down the guard, they're like on the outside, or they try to pass and they're like resetting and they're still on the outside, whatever it may be. But for whatever reason, there's a lot of this going on in the room, and neither of us have anything of value. Does that make sense, right? Now, for those of you who are solid guard players, right, there's a bunch of those names that are in there. Like, if I put Dennis in there, I don't need to be as hard on Dennis because I know more than likely 95% of the room isn't going to be able to do anything anyway. 5% is going to try and get something, he's still going to stop them, right? And like 1% is possibly going to pass. Does that make sense? But for a blue belt, you're absolutely dead in the water and you have nothing to even slow things down or even try and change the position, right? So we want to communicate here some like absolutes, some like non-negotiables for top and bottom, right? So for bottom, okay, Vinny's number one of stopping me from passing would be what? Begins with a G. Ends with ARD. Guard. It's guard, okay? Guard. Guard is going to stop me from passing. That's how he tilts me. It's how he does guard retention. It's how he sweeps. It's how he submits, right? This right here is going to be like high alert, really intense, pure guard retention with no guard. He's just going to be slapping and reflecting into a bunch of different things. That makes sense? That's going to be way more challenging for him, but that will give him opportunity, to eventually get to a guard because I'm engaging. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. I would tell you from Vinny's perspective that there's never a wrong time to immediately get grips and get yourself in there, right? So for people like myself, Matt, Vinny, Dylan, Marquis, the people that watch the kids in the kids' room, like when they're doing class, this happens, and what's the first thing we say to the kids? Get fucking grips. Why? Because you're just laying there. You're doing nothing, right? Some of them are even like just waiting for this person to start passing to then have permission to get grips. Does that make sense, everybody? Right? So really understand that your identity on bottom is playing guard and you're not doing that without grips, right? So from Vinny, I want to see him being aggressive, coming after me to get grips to start pulling me in, not waiting for me to, then start playing grips. That makes sense? So that's your job on bottom right now. Conceptually, that's all you're doing, right? Now, if you're not a guard playing your person on top, what would be the complete opposite perspective that I want to do on top that I'm telling him not to do on bottom? Do not let him establish guard, right? Now, even though he doesn't have a guard established here, right, what you don't want to do is probably something like this. And just walk into a guard to then have permission to start passing. So you need to be able to what? Start looking for specific points and control points to not let him establish a guard while you're moving forward in the ladder. That's really important. Some of you, which is okay, only know how to pass guard when the person has guard, which is why you kind of go like, oh, now I'm inside here because now I can pass it again. No, that's really wrong, right? So focus. Hey, HQ is not a guard, right? Me coming in here and like being here like this, like I feel really strong here to then rip over to my knee cuts. Some of you though are just trying to power to a knee cut. It's going to be hard if you don't have grips, okay? So my job on top is to not let him establish while moving forward. His job on bottom is to establish and not let me move forward. But we're doing that at an alarmingly fast pace. Do you understand? So you can be top and bottom, just top, just bottom, that's up to you. But that's all we're focusing on tonight together as a team. If Vinny says, this is what makes it the most challenging for me to establish my guard when I am on bottom, he'll tell me that data. That's what I'll throw at him while he's trying to do it. Does that make sense, everybody? Questions? Yeah. Yes?
On top for this, are you actually trying to finish the pass or just get into a passing position?
I would go all the way to a pass, and I would really limit how much resistance he has as I continue to move forward. I'd basically create a lot of the resistance at a very controlled aspect in the very beginning. Good question. Anything else? 1, 2, woo! I didn't say 3, it's okay.
No, you said like as in control, but as fast as possible. Like, are you looking to make these reps like very, very, very? Like,
let's say this. If for some reason Vinny was taking a nap and I said to you, picture perfect, what grips would you want in order to move forward in your pass sequence without letting him establish? You should know what those are. Not only as a blue belt or purple belt, but definitely as a brown belt, right? So what you're doing, so if I said, hey, this is the grip I want, then you're sprinting to that. You know what I'm saying? Rather than being like, oh shit, I don't even know what I want right now, and you're trying to find it in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So you should already have clarity and know what's going on. Yeah? Got it? 1, 2, 3.